As my colleagues already mentioned, PACE Packager Hub operates as a joint link between customers, supervisor, packaging engineers, and their tools. So let's focus on this question and see how it works. And before I start demonstrating the system, you need to know that the system has 3 predefined roles. The first one is a supervisor, a person who creates and configures the project, invites the team to this project, and monitors the processes. The second one is customer, a person who who orders a packaging service and gets the output package. And the third one is engineer, a honeybee who does all the work to convert the order into an output package. The journey to PACE Packager Hub, I will start from the point when the project is created and configured, and the team is invited to this system and assigned to this project. And let's consider the basic application packaging process. It starts when the customer creates a new order for packaging. It then upload source installation and documentation, such as installation requirements. All these files are uploaded or attached to the order. Then engineer takes this order into the work. It downloads, he or she downloads the attached source installation, documentation, evaluates these incoming resources. If needed, to approve the complexity, negotiate the package complexity level, and after that, engineer creates and tests the package and delivers the package to the customer. And finally, customer downloads the delivered package and either approves the order or reports a bug. So I will show the solution in alignment to this process. And let's put on the customer's head and sign into the system as a customer and see how it works. First of all, customer need to select a project in which he or she would like to work. The system supports a large number of projects that can be absolutely isolated and project can be organized under the organizations. So one organization can have multiple projects, and there can be multiple organizations in the system, and the user is assigned can be assigned to any project by the supervisor, and the only available projects will be displayed here in the list. So let's select organization and the project in which we would like to work. In our case, it's a test project. And on the all orders tab, we can see that there is no orders, and we can create a new one. The only customer has permission to create an order. Engineer, for instance, doesn't have. First of all, we need to select an order type. The system is already pre-configured out of the box, and it has 5 order types. Here we can see only 3 of them. It's because order types have child-parent hierarchy, and for instance, a bug fix type can be created only in response to the initial app packaging order. We cannot create just a bug fix with no linking to any other order. So that is why we can see only those order types that have no dependency as a child of one parent. Then after selecting order, one more thing, order type defines the workflow of this order. Each order type can have own workflow, and this workflow can be customized for every order type and every project. And another one more thing that defines is according to the order type, order can have various set of input fields. In our system, they are called attributes. So in supervisor can define custom attributes, can modify existing one, can arrange them or set their width, how they will be displayed, either they optional or required, and so on. Many settings can be customized. So let's enter order title, like test order. Also, here we can see only those attributes, and we need to set values only for those attributes that are set as required. All optional attributes are not displayed in the wizard of creating a new order, and they can be set later during the editing order. So let's set priority. And also I have added a custom field, and we can see this field here, and we need to select one of added value and click create. And yeah, once the order is created, customer can specify uh, values of attributes such as application name, and be a version, vendor. Also, we can select complexity level, priority, packaging technology, the desired due date. We can select the due date from the calendar, and many other settings, and can fill in all fields that configured for this project and this order type. After specifying order details according to our application packaging process, customers as a rule upload source installation and documentation to the order. In our systems, this can be done by moving to the artifacts tab. And here in the configured project, customer just need to click upload source, select a file which we need to upload. It could be any file. It could be either a small file or big in few gigabytes. It doesn't matter. All these files will be uploaded to the repository that are configured by the supervisor, and the supervisor configures the repository and connection credentials to this repository, and customer doesn't need to know where the files will be stored, how to connect. In comparison to FTP, we don't need to use some FTP client, connect to this FTP, upload files, somehow specify address of these files in the order. There is no need to do this because all order files are attached and stored directly in the order. Also, after selecting file and specifying resource names that will be displayed here in the list, we can specify a comment. This additional information can be used, for instance, to specify a password for the archive and so on. So let's click Save, and the file is uploaded to the repository and linked with this order. Here we can see this file. We can also view who has uploaded this file, file size, and the date when this file was uploaded. Also, we can edit if needed or delete this resource. In addition, for instance, if source installation can be downloaded from the internet, and to avoid downloading this installation in case it's a big file, for instance, instead of downloading this file locally and uploading to the system, customer can specify customer can specify a link to this resource, just specifying URL name and the same command. And if you take a look at our process, after the uploading source installation, customer somehow needs to let know the engineer that the order is ready for packaging and can be taken to the work. How this can be done? Very easily. Customer can as I mentioned before, each order type has a workflow, and workflow is a set of statuses, a transition between these statuses. We can view current workflow of the order, just clicking view workflow near next to the status. We can see that in our predefined workflow, just let me to remind that the workflow can be customized for every type of order, every project, according to the, for instance, project agreement with the customer and packaging team and so on. So in our predefined workflow, after the new status goes ready for packaging, and in our test project, this status indicates that the order is ready to be taken into the work. And so customer just needs to click submit to invoke one of transition to move from the status new to ready for packaging, and just click submit. We can see that status was changed to ready for packaging. Also, additionally, customer can assign this order to the packaging engineer or supervisor of the project. Let's specify engineer. We can just start typing to find the user by the name or by email, it doesn't matter. And at this stage, the customer's work is done. And let's put on the engineer's hat and see and process the order. So let's sign out from the system as a customer and sign in as engineer. And if you took a look at our application packaging process, we can see that engineers starts downloading. Yeah, one more thing. So we need to find the order, how this can be done. Once the engineer is signed in into the system, as the same as customer, engineers need to select a project because engineer can be shared between various projects, and it's a good idea to select the necessary project just to filter orders of other projects. For instance, in our case, we have only one project and one order, and it's quite easy to find. But in case we need to find the necessary order among many other ones, we can use filters to filter the list just to find, for instance, order in the specific status or creation date, for instance, and so on. Also, we can configure this table. We can set which of columns should be displayed. We can change column order, for instance, and we can also sort data in this column by clicking in the column header. And additionally, we have some predefined filters such as assigned to me. This view shows all orders that are assigned to the currently signed in user. So we send in this engineer, and we can see this user is specified in the assignee column. Also, we can view all active orders. This view displays orders that status of which are not marked as final. When we configure in the project, we can specify what statuses of the workflow are final, and if order is in the status, it will be displayed in historical. Otherwise, it displayed in the active view. So when we found the necessary order, let's open it. And here, engineer can find out order details such as title, application name, priority, for instance, due date. And also, one more thing I forgot to show is messages. Customer can leave messages to the packaging team, and packaging team can use these messages to communicate with customer, for instance, just to ask to clarify some points. In addition to the ordinary text messages, we can insert images directly in the message body, not a separate file attached. They will be displayed in the message. We can resize the images if needed, and additionally, we can insert tables directly in the message body. And even more, we can configure this table. We can add columns, rows, and so on. And all this will be saved directly in the message body. And just click submit. Here we can see the username who wrote the message, date when this message was posted, and message itself. And also, user can edit and remove their own messages. And this message is a public request. This message will be visible to the packaging team and the customer. And in case packager wants to leave an internal note just for the team, here we have the special tab, internal note. This note won't be visible to the customer. And while we writing this message, background is highlighted in yellow, and when we submit this message, we also see that it highlighted in yellow. And additionally, we can see this type displayed here, internal node, so we can easily distinguish internal node from the public request. And after that, engineers can download artifacts that were attached to the order by the customer, and all what is needed just to click download. The same engineer doesn't need to remember where location, where the repository of this project is located, how to connect to this repository, where to find this file. Doesn't need all this. Doesn't need it. Just click download, and that's all. As you can see, engineer can't delete or edit file attached by the customer. And once the source installation and documentation is downloaded according to our application packaging process, goes the stage is called evaluate incoming resources. At this stage, engineer need to find out if the attached files uh, belong to the application details of features specified in the order, and this resource installation can be installed and so on. How this can be done? Because engineers need to set the respective status. Also, we can view workflow and see that after ready for packaging, we have incoming check status. So we just click start incoming check, and at this stage, we need to see what files were attached and if they can be installed, and create a package for these files. And um, uh, when currently the engineers need when he need to, she need to work with files, we need to run desktop application called Pace Packager Hub. I have already run it. Also, we need to sign into the system using the same account. And here in the desktop client, we can work with packages. Identically to the web portal, we need to select organization and project in which we would like to work. And here we can see the project doesn't have any packages, so let's create a new package from the order. Select new package from order, and we need to select order type. We can see in the order this type specified in the header here. So let's select application packaging, and also we need to select order ID. Order ID in the web also is specified here in the top of the window. And let's click browse and select our order ID. And the same as when we created the order, we had to specify all the required fields. And the same situation for the package, we need to specify values for the required fields. All the fields, identically to the order fields, can be customized for every project. We can define own fields. We can select type of this field, and it can be is a text field or text area or combo box as a single selection, multiple selection, as a date, as user field, and many other types. So just let's specify. Yeah, one more thing interesting. When we're creating a package from the order, we can see that package name is already pre-filled. The system automatically inherits values of some predefined attributes from the order to the package. We can see that order title was inherited to the package name. Packaging technology also was inherited from the order. And we have one more custom field set as required. We need to specify value for it and click create to create the package. And on the general tab, we can see all predefined, user-defined, required and optional. All attributes of the package can be found here. We can set the necessary values. For instance, We can select supported OS, just a combo box with multiple choice. We can set as many options as we want, and all these values can be configured for every project separately. Also, we can select architecture, whether the package requires reboot or not, for instance, and many other things. And yeah, also fields such as app name, app version, app vendor are inherited from the order. I have specified these field values here, and we can see that they were inherited. Also, author field is automatically pre-filled with the user who created this package, and after that we can go to the content tab and create folder structure on the repository just to place files that were uploaded to this order and start creating the package. And here we have two options: either create a new empty folder structure on the repository server, or select an existing folder. In case we have created the folder manually outside the Packager Hub, we can use it. Let's select the first option, and we need to choose a repository server. One project can have multiple repository servers to store packages, and the user can select on which of the repository server the package needs to be created. Let's select the default one. And once we clicked select, we can see that some folder structure has been automatically created. All this folder structure is configured in the project settings and is automatically created for every new package of this project. And even more, engineer doesn't need to remember what is location of the repository for this particular project and what is agreed folder structure and naming convention for folders and so on. All this is configured one time in the project settings by the supervisor, and engineers that just clicks create package, and it has all these folders in place. And also folder names can contain as a static name, just as package doc, and also it can contain variables. In our case, the root folder, as you can see, it named as package, then goes package identifier, test PR1, and then goes package name. In our case, it was inherited from the order title and test order one. So as you can see, I just click create the folder structure and got the folder names with values that are specified in the order. And all this can be configured according to the project needs. And once the folder is created, we can either upload provided by the customer. We can upload these files using context menus like upload files or upload folder with files. It's the first option to use Packager Hub. And the second option, we can click show folder content, and the system will automatically establish a connection to the specified repository location with the specified connection credentials and open this location in the Windows Explorer. And engineer just in one click can open this folder and doesn't need to know connection credentials. And yeah, this can be configured in the project settings. Either connection credentials should be automatically provided from to the engineer, or engineer should be prompted to enter personal connection credentials. All this can be configured. And using either Windows Explorer or our system, engineer creates the necessary files, uploads here, such as MSI, for instance, documentation, and so on. And also using integration with Space Suite tools, we can run remote setup capture just to repackage the provided source installation on the remote virtual machine. And in result, we get the MSI generator project, and we can build from this project MSI, MSIX, Apex, AppV, and so on. And this setup capture use purpose to find where the source installation is located. As you can see, we have source folder with for incoming resources purpose, and the same we have doc folder with purpose for package documentation and output package. This purpose is used by automation and our tools to find out an absolute path to the folder where, for instance, incoming resource is located, an output package is stored, and the package documentation. And it doesn't matter what is the name of this folder, where it is located, it just can be found by this purpose. And we can manually change this purpose for every folder, but one folder can have only one purpose, and one purpose can be used only once for one folder. And in addition to the remote setup capture, we can edit MSI package with Msi Editor. We can just run this Msi Editor from operations section here, or just from the context menu if you want to open the specific MSI. Doesn't matter where it is located and this package folder, we can open specific package directly here. And if we go back to our process, yeah, here we the next section was negotiate package complexity. How this can be done in our system? If we go back to the web solution and click view workflow, we can see that workflow has from the incoming check, we can go to the packaging status or to the complexity approval status if needed. And this workflow is configured in the way that engineer can move order to the complexity approval, and only the customer can select either approve or refuse the proposed complexity level. It's configured in the project settings, defining permissions for each transition. So in case we need to approve complexity, if the complexity level was set as basic and we see that according to our complexity estimation matrix level is complex, we can request complexity approval, and the customer will see the status change and can approve or not approve. And in our case, let's click start packaging just to move the order forward. And when the status is packaging, it means that we are creating the package. Stage create and test the package. And as I mentioned, already mentioned, we can create a package on the content tab. We can use editor, setup capture. We can open the files in Windows Explorer and use any other tool to edit, create, modify, and so on. And according to our application packaging business process, after the creating the package, engineers as a rule delivers the package to the customer. And how this can be done in our system? Very easily. So we need to switch to the sorry, one more thing important thing I forgot to show. It's automation. While we editing the package or testing, we can use automation. Automation is configured in the project settings by the supervisor. It can be either command line or script. Scripts are stored in the application database and they are protected from tampering. And when the supervisor configures automation, it specify I will show. It specify executable which will be run, and also it specify arguments with which this executable will be run. And engineer, in case engineer is switching between multiple projects, he or she doesn't need to remember what automation is used in the current project and with what arguments it should be run. All this is stored in the system, and engineers just click run button, and that's all. And this is really useful, I think. And interesting things regarding arguments, that arguments can be as a static, just like test MSI package, and also can be variables. Variables are replaced with values during the runtime. These variables can be a pass, as I mentioned before, according to the selected purpose. It can be a pass to the document, to the folder with documentation, to the folder with output package, with incoming resources, and also we have variables that that will prompt user to select a file on the file system or folder, or can be a value of the package name field and any other. I will show them later. So it can be any combination of static and variables. And I think it can be very useful. You can create configure automation just to test the package, or for instance integration with deployment system. You can run a script to deploy the package, and for instance to CCM, or integration with other packaging or testing tools, and so on. And yeah, according to our process, after the creating testing the package, we need to deliver this package to the customer, and this can be done on the delivery tab. We just need to click deliver package, select the repository server, identically as on the content tab. The project can have multiple repository servers, and we can select on which of them we would like to deliver the package. It could be FTP or network share currently. And after selecting repository server, we need to choose what files and folders will be included in the delivery package. And by default, some folders are unticked, some folders are selected. All these settings are inherited from the project project configuration, but we can redefine this, override these settings for every package we are delivering. We can select what the files should be included or excluded. And in the project settings was specified that the package should be delivered as a zip archive. And in this case, we need to specify a name of zip archive. And in case file the package is too big and will be split into separate archives according to the archive splitting settings, we need to specify not archive name, but name template. Also, we can select compression level and so on. And when we are creating the archive, files are downloaded to the local computers and compressed and uploaded to the specified location and so on. And we can use this option to optimize the network traffic. And also we have option just to store the delivered package on the main operational repository, content of which is displayed on the content tab. And also one more cool feature here we have is file integrity check. If we select this option, the system will automatically check file integrity after upload. And in case a file was corrupted, tampered, it will show this file in the list and you can re-upload it again. It just uses MD5 checksum before delivering the file and after delivering the file. And also, if you need to deliver along with the package MD5 checksum file, we can select this option here, and both archive of our package and checksum file will be uploaded. So let's click deliver to see the process of delivery. Here the system, as I mentioned before, compressing the files, uploading files to the repository, checks file integrity, and then deletes the temporary files. And we can see all these steps here. And finished means that everything is done, and we can close this window. And also the delivery status is duplicated here. We can see package delivered. If needed, we can redeliver the package in case something was changed or the package was modified and need to be redelivered. We can invoke this wizard again. And also we can see delivery location, package subfolder, delivery date. And here in the table, we can see what files of this package means what was delivered, because if we select the second option here, the table shows all files that exist in the specified delivery location. In some project, all packages can be delivered in the same folder, for instance, and we can easily see the content of the folder and what exactly was delivered to this folder. And after the package was delivered, we need somehow let, if we take a look at our application packaging process, the engineers need to let the customer know that the package was delivered. And this can be done if we go to the web portal. In the order, we need to, again, our workflow, we need to set the respective status. From the packaging, we need to move this order to the customer approval, ready for delivery, and then customer approval. So just let's click assign to testing, start testing, test OK, and send to approval. And as you can see, the order is in the customer approval status. We can't invoke any other transitions because the workflow is configured that the only customer can approve or reject this order. And additionally, we can specify, we can assign this order to the customer. Let's put his name here. And also we can leave a message for the customer if needed, and so on. But at this stage, the engineer's work is done, and let's sign in as a customer to see the delivery package. Let's sign out as engineer. And assign in as customer. Yeah, again, the project is already selected. Identically, we can use filters, column configuration to find the necessary order. In our case, it's order in the customer approval status. And let's open, let's open this order to see it. Here we can review maybe something was changed in the details. We can read messages from the engineer, and here in the links we can see that order has linked package. We can jump to this package directly selecting this tab, package tab in the right here. And here we can, in the general tab, we can view package details such as package name, supported operating system, architecture, and other details that can be useful. And on the delivery section, we can see the delivered files. We can download the delivered package just in one click. And again, we don't need to remember a server or FTP, where FTP or network share where the files are located. All what is needed is just to click download, and the package will be just simply downloaded. Let's open it and see what it contains. Yeah, I have opened this archive in Windows Explorer. You can see that package folder contains our MSI package that was added to this folder, and we can see the dock is empty, and respectively project is also empty. So that is how a customer can easily download the package, directly switching from the order to the package tab. There is no need to go to, for instance, to use FTP client to sign into FTP, find the package, download. Everything can be done from the web portal. And after the downloading the package, customer either approves the order or reports a bug. Again, if we switch back to the order, from the package to the order, uh, uh, customer, according to the workflow permission settings, can let's open the workflow. Customer can move order from the closed or back to the packaging, if, for instance, if a bug was found. And this is presented as to transition, UAT okay or UAT not okay. So if something went wrong and package and there is a bug in the package, we can set invoke UAT not okay and create a bug fix that will be um, assigned, linked with this application packaging order. So let's select new sub new sub order bug fix, and identically to the initial application packaging, we need to specify values for the required field. such as order title, priority, and click create. And the created bug fix order is opened. And if we go to the links tab, here we can see that reference to the parent order, that is application packaging, is automatically created, and we can see that this bug fix is related to the application packaging order. And also in the original order we can see a link to the bug fix as a child, so they are linked here. And if we go to the list of folders, we can see that they are displayed separate items, but they are linked, and you can find this link in details. And yeah, according to our application packaging process, that is all what I would like to show in our system, how the order can be order life cycle from the creation to the package delivery. And one more thing I will show, how the system can be configured by the supervisor. I will go, I will show configuration rapidly. Yeah, let's sign in as supervisor. If you sign in as supervisor, we can here we have license section, and we have settings here and settings here, the same settings. And we can on the user and roles, we can configure add user to the system. We can here we can manage user roles, block or unblock user, change their details if needed. And also we can configure projects. We can create, as I mentioned before, a large number of isolated project for various different customers and so on. And let's edit the project to see the settings. In the user access settings, we can configure what users are assigned to this project, and respectively what users will have access to this project. We can configure on main operational repository, we can configure a place, a location where all packages of this project will be stored. As I mentioned before, um, project can have multiple repository servers. And also we can configure package folders templates that will be created for every new package. We can see here variables in name, and we can see these variables in the drop-down list. It could be package name, package identifier, packaging technology, architecture, and creation date. And in the future, the list will be here. You can use all of predefined and user-defined attributes that are configured for this project. And once the package folder template is configured, we can go to the delivery repository section and configure a location where the packages of this project should be delivered. As mentioned before, we can configure the FTP or network share here. And also we can set the default delivery settings. We can choose what folders should be included in delivery by default, and we can set delivery package as zip archive and so on. And on the package attributes section, we can modify the existing predefined attributes. Can configure own attributes. Attributes are just fields that are displayed when we're editing or creating the package. We need to specify attribute name. We can set if this attribute is hidden. For instance, when we're modifying existing attribute, we can hide it. We can set this attribute as disabled, will be displayed, but nobody can modify it. Just attribute for you, just to store some additional information or so on. Also, we can select type of this field. It could be a text field, a single line, multiple lines, number, date, drop-down list with a single choice, multiple choice, checkbox, or system user. And also we can set whether this field is optional or required, what is default value of this field, and field width. It's a size on the screen, how wide this field will be displayed, and the description of this field it will be displayed in the tooltip. And also we can arrange order of this field on the display. in the order how they will be displayed to the user. You can and also for user-defined attributes, we can change everything, can delete them, and for predefined fields, we can only change some parameters, but we can't delete them. And in the automation section, uh, supervisor can configure automation, available automation of this project, just specify name, description, specify a command line, and as I mentioned before, arguments that can be a combination of static and variables. You can see the list of supported variables here. And if we go to the order settings section, here we can configure allocation where the order artifacts are files that are as a rule uploaded to the order by the customer, such as source installation, documentation, and so on. So we can configure a place where these files should be stored. Also, we can configure types of order of the project. As I mentioned before, um, we have few pre-configured order types, and we can see that order type is set as a root order, no parent, and a bug fix is referenced to the application packaging. And if you edit it, we can see bug fix is set as a child order under the application packaging. So we can create new types, we can change existing types, set their child parent structure according to our needs. All this can be configured. And for each order type, we can configure a workflow. We can add or edit statuses, transitions between these statuses. For instance, as I mentioned before, we have permissions for the transition. We can select what user role can invoke this transition. And we can implement a process of approving complexity level, for instance, and so on. And also we can use this workflow in the visual representation here. And order attributes, absolutely the same as package attributes. This is just ordinary fields that are displayed when we're creating or editing order. And that's all what I would like to show you in our base packager hub.